Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine. Continue with reading the Iliad by Homer. I'm going to continue to read. And the man who lived in fairy fronting Lake Bobis, in Bobe and Glephery and Iolcos, sturdy ramparts, their 11 ships were held by Admetus' favored son, Eumelus, born to Admetus by Alcestis, queen of women, the most radiant daughter Peleus ever fathered. The man who lived in Methone and Thaumacia, man who held Melibor and rugged-ridged Olyzon. Philocrates and master archer had led them on in 7 ships with 50 oarsmen abroad each, superbly skilled with the bow in lethal combat, but their captain lay on an island racked with pain, on Lebanon's holy shores where the armies had marooned him. Agonized by his wound, the bite of a deadly water viper, there he withered in pain, but soon encamped by the ships. The Argives would recall Philoctetes, their great king, but not even then were his men without a captain, yearn as they did for their lost leader. No, Medon formed them up. Oly's bastard son, whom Rhyn born to Olyus, grim reader of cities, and the man who settled Trica, rocky Ithome, terraced high, and the man who held Orchalian Eurytus city. The 2 sons of Asclepius led their unit now, both skilled healers, Podalirius and Macaron. In their command sailed 40 curved black ships, and the man who held Ormenion and the Hyperion spring, man who held Asteron, Teutonon's chalk-white cliffs. Eupelas marched them on. Euryman's shining sun in his command sailed 40 long black ships, and the man who settled Erigisa and Girton, Orthe, Elon, and gleaming Citadel or Lucen, Polypopids, braced for battle led them on. The son of Peirithous, son of deathless Zeus, famous Hippodamia, bore the warrior to Peirithous. That day he wreaked revenge on the shaggy centaurs, routed them out of Pelion, drove them to the Arthesis. Polypoetes was not alone. Leontius shelled the helm, companion of Ares, Cainian's grandson, proud Coronos' son, and in his command sailed 40 long black ships. The Gunius out of Cyphus led on 22 ships, and in his platoons came Aeneas and battle-tried Peribians, who pitched homes in the teeth of Dardanus' bitter winters, who held the tilled acres along the lovely Titarisus that runs her pure crystal currents into Peneus, never mixed with Peneus' eddies, glistening silt, but gliding over the surface smooth as olive oil, breaking away from the river Styx, the dark and terrible oath stream of the gods. And Prothous, son of Tethridon, led the Magnesians, man who lived around Peneus, up along Mount Pelion. Sloped in wind-whipped leaves, racing Prothous led them on, and in his command sailed 40 long black ships. These were the captains of Achaeus and the kings. Now tell me, Moose, who were the bravest of them all, of the man and the chariot teams that came with Atreus' sons? The best by far of the teams were Eumelus' mares and fierce grandsons drove them, swift as birds, matched in age and their glossy coats, and matched to a builder's level flat across their backs. Phoebus Apollo, lord of the silver bow, had bred them both in Perae, a breeze of mares that raised the war god's panic through the lines. But best by far of the men was Telamonian Ajax, while Achilles reached apart. The famed Achilles towered over them all, he and the battle team that bore the peerless son of Peleus into war. But off in his big sea-going ships he lay, raging away at Atreus, Agamemnon, king of armies, while his men sported along the surf, marking time, hurling the discus, throwing spears and testing bows, and the horses, each beside its chariots, championing clover and parsley from the marshes, waited, pawing idly. Their masters' chariots stood on the blanket now, stored away in the tent, while the rank and file yearning for their leader, the great man of war, drifting here and there throughout the encampment, hung back from the fighting. But on the armies came as if the whole earth were devoured by wildfire, yes, and the ground thundered under them, deep as it goes, for Zeus, who loves the lightning, Zeus in all his rage when he lashed the ground around Taphios in Arima, there where they say the monster makes his bed of pain. So the earth thundered under their feet, armies trembling, sweeping through the plain at blazing speed. Now the Trojans, Iris, the wind-quick messenger, hurried down to Iliad, bearing her painful message sent by storming Zeus. The Trojans assembled hard by Priam's gates, gathered together there, young man and old, and rushing closer, racing Iris addressed them, keying her voice to that of Priam's son, Polites. He had kept a watch for the Trojan posted stop, old Asiads, tomb and post to sprint for home at the first sign of Argives, charging from the ships, like him to the life. The racing Iris urged, old Priam, words, endless words, that is your passion always, as once in the days of peace, but ceaseless wars upon us. Time and again I've gone to battle, fought with men, but I've never seen an army great as this. Too much, like piling leaves or sand, and on they come, advancing across the plain to fight before our gates. Hector, I urge you, first of all, do as I tell you. Armies of Atlas crowd the mighty city of Priam. True, but they speak 1,000 different tongues. Fighters gathered here from all ends of the realm. Let each chief give commands to the tribe he leads. Move them out. Marshal his own contingents now. I'm going to stop here this time and continue next time. Thank you for watching.